Sensors online.
Oops.
Still down.
Oh, stream down. Okay, it's back. It's back.
Play
It's
cool,
back.
yes.
I don't
Play
know what
cool.
just happened. Maybe I accidentally might have disconnected something.
Go back to where you were saying about SWK, because that's where it cut off.
Yeah, I just have to... I'm gonna have to redo something, but yeah. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what just happened. All I was saying was that the teams that were most recognizable are SWK, BSK, and Clan Jade
Luna
Falcon.
Wolves. Oh, Clan Jade Falcon, definitely.
Luna Wolves is only recognizable because somebody... Well, that's not even true anymore. But somebody in almost every game that I go into is like, Luna Wolves is recruiting.
It doesn't matter if Luna Wolves are playing. That
Yeah, I
tends
know.
to come up, right? That's the
Yeah,
running gag.
it does come up. That is the gag. Yeah, you guys should talk really quick while I get the browser overlay back up.
Well, let's go take a step back to Remnant Invitational. I don't think we ever talked about the Steeljack Comstar Titans game. Or Comstar Titans of Rage game.
You first, magician.
Yeah, we can talk.
I
about
thought
those games.
Siri was to blame for that.
Well,
All serious, Paul?
no, it's not serious.
No,
Well,
it's just a
so-
joke. He's not on,
Yeah,
so I get
mean,
to make fun of him.
The thing is that we tried a little bit of experiment on the first drop with taking basically an all streak, on the 540 ton, whatever it is, drop, and we just didn't, either we didn't use it right or it didn't work very well. Even like we found one of them just sitting there staring the other way. We were like, just hold your fire, okay, kill him, and it still took freaking forever to take him down. And at that point, I'm going, oh shit, this isn't gonna work, because the streaks, like, if you've taken Kintaros, Kintaros will rip up a Trebuchet pretty good, but that's 6 streaks, and we were running the Shadowhawks, which was the 2 meads 4 streak 2s setup, and it worked to a point. We were still at the end. I guess they had 3 mechs left, but they took us down that one. On the second drop, we played Forest Colony, and we took a little bit of arty damage when we were up in the mining colony area. I'm trying to think what else happened on the drop, but we pushed water at one point, and I think there was a little
Is the stream
confusion.
gone?
I don't know what the hell is happening.
Who's back up?
My...
Just, yeah, hiccup.
Okay.
Weird,
Get
maybe
back
it's Twitch, but yeah. So we were pushing. Water
Oh,
we
fuck,
kinda
is
got
MLG
confused.
this weekend? Oh, I bet MLG,
MLG
is this weekend.
yeah, but they shouldn't be.
Fuck you,
starting yet.
Twitch! It's that. It's always that. But yeah,
Alright.
oh, the little dots broke. Sorry, keep talking. Sorry, guys.
Okay, I was trying to go through them real quick, but yeah, it's a second drop, pushing water, took a lot of damage, and a little bit of confusion on which direction we were going. In the end, we just got picked off pretty good, actually. We never really got our feet going in that match. But third drop, we timed out on
No,
River
that was
City because
drop 3
neither
was
team.
Terra-Therma. You guys pushed through the center and caught us.
No,
we were
what I'm
trying to
saying is on
reposition.
third drop, initially, it was still salt mode, and we were on, salt mode, and it was on River City, and we're sitting there, we're kind of behind the Caldera, behind the Citadel, they're up top on the base, and at that position, you're rolling dice if you're doing any kind of an assault. It's really hard to pressure either side, and the bases, while they seem nice where they're at now, it's a little bit frustrating because you can't really go to lower city base without getting arty strike easily defendable from up on the platform. So in the end, we just let the timer run out, and we figured that we'd have the advantage on Conquest, and on Conquest ended up being a really close match. Our heavies kind of lost the exchange a little bit, but part of the reason we lost the exchange is because we were taking out their lights, and we were able to use that as advantage to basically get the huge base cap. We knew we were in the best spot in the world for firefight, but we were in a very good spot to control on Conquest. And then on the last drop, yeah. So I'm sorry, I got that screwed up a little bit. That
drop
was actually
3,
the last
yeah.
drop. Drop 3. That was
Terra-Therma.
weird because we pushed over. So one of our scouts thought they were to our physical right of the bridge, coming out of the center of Terra-Therma, and actually there was only one there. The rest of them were sitting back, so I go flying over the bridge, and I'm like, oh shit, here's all these mechs I'm seeing. Luckily it's Terra-Therma, so there's a little bit of the you can't see anybody effect. So we just ended up crouching over in that terrible area near those boxes and crates, but we were able to pick off that one assault that was to the right, and then we were able to just whittle them down with some arty strikes, and our lights did a really good job picking off a couple of their assaults, I think, in the back. So yeah, that was really tough. That was a really tough match.
Yeah, what happened there was we were going to move up to the left side of, like, our left, so your right. And then when we saw the lights were split up, we're like, oh shit, you know what? They could just cap our base. So we decided to pull back and move closer to base and be more defensive. And while we were moving, you guys pushed the Caldera, pushed the center through onto our side, and we were like a little bit split up and spread out a bit. So you just caught us. You caught us in a redeployment phase where we just were caught off guard, and I got split off. It was me that was separated, because if I were to cross, he would have just tore me up. So I had to stay where I was, and then the Jenners came and pretty much like gave me the reach around.
I like that.
Yeah,
I watched the matches afterwards, and you know, I had my own opinion, and I took Mag aside, and I said, look, I wasn't there, you know. Really?
So that's why we lost, Harry? 'Cause you
Yeah.
I thought that was gonna be so serious. Well done.
no, Harry does the carry, huh?
Carry is the carry. That makes sense.
All right. Well, I think on that note, we've talked about RI, we've talked about Mercenary Star, which I think is a fairly good introduction to what we've been supposed to be talking about for the last half hour, or however the hell long, I don't know, because stream dropped.
Time has been distorted.
Time has been distorted, no. But, yeah, so we're going to try and highlight 2 major leagues tonight, maybe 3, probably just 2. We're going to re-go over MRBC because we didn't have a representative for that last week. And as much as I did read the document, there was only so much I could talk about because it wasn't, you know, it's not my thing. I didn't have a ton of drive to talk about it a ton. But Harry's here to talk about that. We've got Magician here to talk about the new season of Arhad. And Tony might talk about Merrick, but he's probably going to make me do that again next week because he doesn't want any less than an hour and a half to talk about his league. So. Alright, so let's start off with Arhad. Magician, why don't you take us away? What's different with this season of Arhad from the last season?
Alright, well, first, let's let everyone know, sign-ups end on Sunday, 11:59 p.m. Eastern, type of a thing. We're starting up on the 21st, and we'll probably have to add that extra week just to get everything scheduled. But, yeah, what's different? Well, there's a few major differences. The first difference is that in the previous 2 seasons, it's been Assault. And this season, we're using a double round robin setup, and the home team will get to choose the game mode. So they'll be able to choose Assault, Conquest, or Skirmish. Frankly, I asked everyone what they wanted to play. People had different opinions, and I said, I'm not going to make the choice. I'm going to let teams make the choice on what they want to do. And I think it'll make it really interesting, because you're going to have teams that, when they play each other the first time, they might feel like, they want to do Assault, they're comfortable with that. Maybe the second time, if a team lost on Assault, they'll have the option of playing Conquest and really preparing for that. So, and some teams wanted Skirmish, and I was really hesitant about Skirmish because I'm very worried about teams basically having the MechWarrior 4 effect where teams camp and time runs out. People say, oh, MechWarrior 4 wasn't too much of a problem. Well, we also had an hour-long matches in MechWarrior 4. Here we only have 15-minute matches. So, we'll see. We'll see how Skirmish works out. I'm still really really hesitant about that mode competitively, but yeah, we'll see. So the other major changes, in season 1 we had class-based limits, in season 2 we had tonnage-based limits. I was going back and forth what to do, and I decided to do both of them. On the previous seasons we only had the 5 setups, and it was still best of 5, but every time it was the same restrictions you're playing, you're just a different order. So in this one, with 10 different ones that you'll be having, each match is really going to feel differently. And I just did it. I put those in a list, did random, and then I took the first 5, and that was for that week. And then I'd random listed it again, and that's how I did it. And it came up with some really weird things. Like one week it's all tonnage, another week it's all class. And I was like, people are going to think I'm setting this up, but no, it's just kind of how it happened. Those are the 2 major changes. But I think with the double round robin as well, it's going to make it a lot more interesting, where teams are going to feel like they're in it. You could lose your first few matches, and then come back, because you'll be able to play all these teams again, and if you beat them, then you're getting back on square footing. And I think you'll see some rivalries start in that way as well.
That'll be good. It's
Good
one of those
changes.
things in a league where, say you play against a team and you screw up and you're like, damn, I wish we could get a second game, and you gotta wait the whole, till the next season to play them again almost. So I like this change.
So is it going to be round robin? I might have missed it. I was looking into other stuff. Is it going to be round robin between every team, or are there going to be sub brackets?
Well, there will be divisions, just like previously, just to keep the seasons within a good amount of time. I'm going to try to go with, let's see here. It depends on how many teams we get. I'd like to have, the divisions around 5 teams, because that means that's an 8-week season, which is about right. If we have to go to divisions of 6 and do a 10-week season, that's okay as well. But we'll see. Right now, and as you have this up here, here's the thing that I'm kind of, I don't want to say concerned about, but I kind of predicted as well. We only have 13 teams signed up right now, and last time I think we had 24. So we have some new teams who are signing up, but also we have some teams who just haven't responded. I think a lot of teams have kind of backed off the competitive side. Some of them have. We have all the playoff teams the last season, so that keeps it competitively interesting as well. But I'm hoping, and we have Lords joining up this season, so that's going to be a good addition. And I'm looking forward to it. I hope some other teams are signing up before the deadline, because we definitely like to get everybody involved. Han, yeah, you too. I'd love to have Templars in, even if you guys, bigger teams, you guys can have multiple units in there. You just have to have separate rosters, and we'll see.
It should be.
We're talking about it. We're looking at around. Separate rosters is a little bit of a challenge for us with our structure and the way that we're built, but we're trying to make something happen. We're all geared up for Proxus to start in January, and now it hasn't. It's been delayed, so we're kind of in the same abyss again, trying to figure out what we can do.
Yeah, I like the changes that you've made so far. It's going to be before everybody sort of touted it as like it was the meta league, and I feel like this will still preserve that, but also give it some new flavor. I'm excited for it.
Yep.
But we're excited to be using heavies again.
That's the thing about the class-based limits, and I'm really looking forward to seeing as well as how teams adjust to that, because everyone is used to, you might do your, say for a while it was Highlander, Shadow Hawks, and Jenners. Right now it's kind of like maybe, it's SWK's running Highlanders, Victors, and Jenners primarily. But teams are going to have to take some of the heavies in there. They're going to have to use maybe the 3Ds again a little bit more, and they're going to have to use some of the mediums a little bit more. And I think that's going to make teams be... You're going to have to have your pilots very experienced in those, or else you're going to be at a disadvantage.
Well, I think that's a great way to mix it up. I mean, you get those games where it's like 8 Highlanders, 4 Jenners, and, it's playing the same thing over and over again.
Really quickly, who is responsible for the 4 PP or for the 4 dual PPC Cicada strategy? Who came up with that?
Blackstone Knights.
Fuck.
Well, Templars is running it too, though.
They are, but
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was Templars or BSK.
Both.
No, we ripped it off of Blackstone Knights.
Damn it! It's so annoying.
But BSK, I think BSK is mixing ER large and PPCs in their loadout.
There's a couple, and one of them, they've got some small lasers with a couple of PPCs as well, but we've been doing that for the last week and a half, 2 weeks, and it's working really well for us.
I've just seen it a bunch of times on the queue, and it's pretty dangerous. But yeah, it just it was something I thought of when you mentioned new strategies with different mechs. It's going to be interesting.
Hey, Magician, any thought to counting a Cicada as a light mech rather than a medium mech? Because I know in Arhod Season 1, that was the big question was, I mean, back then...
Do you break every Battletech rule and just be like, let's kind of... No, what?
No.
But no, I'm okay. Well, yeah, just...
Tony!
No, but just because...
Get in your
You
closet.
bring back the mediums and its options, like... When you know... Your strategies change a lot when you know what the other classes they're taking are. Alright, if you know they're taking 4 lights and 4 mediums, you might want to take those Cicadas for, I don't know, people are still going to do base assaults like it was with 8v8, but I mean, your strategies change enough that I think the Cicada has to stay where it's at. Otherwise, well, no one's going to take the Cicada then.
That's possible.
Yes.
I guess I'm just pointing out Arhod Season 1, the big question was always, you wanted to win the light duel back in 8-mans. That seemed like it was more important. And so it was, okay, you take as many cicadas as you can because you wanted to be one more light than the other team because then your lights could dominate the light duel. So it's... Anyway, that's all toying with counting a cicada as a light gets rid of that dynamic, perhaps. And then, your medium choices are true medium mechs rather than I'll want to be light.
But isn't that an interesting decision? Like, I like the idea that you've got to take a medium, but you can take it and use it in different roles, You can take the lightest medium that performs that role. I like that choice, and I like the fact that you are not facing a mirror. You're going to be facing somebody's made a different tactical choice, and now you've got to face off against that. That's what makes
a good point.
Using drop decks interesting to me as well.
Well, we'll see how it stacks up against like a Lance of Jenners that, clearly the strat there is going to be rush the PPC Cicadas and take them out of the fight. I mean, they're slower than the Jenners, so they're eventually just going to get hunted down. I'm not sure how long that strategy can stay viable once teams catch on.
Mm-hmm.
And just let the cat out of the bag there. We'll see.
Yes, I did.
I don't know. I'd argue with that. But the PPCs on the lights, if you can actually shoot straight and you can hit them, actually can take the Jenners apart pretty quickly. So the main key is, number one, you got to stay apart 90 meters, and the second thing is, obviously, you want to have some kind of line of sight support from where your fire support group is, so you have them helping you too. But you're right, that is the challenge of getting them in there, but it's not as bad as you think it is if you've got pilots that can actually shoot lights.
Magician, just to confirm, it was you will either be playing with the chassis restrictions or tonnage restrictions, one or the other?
No, so, for example, I have to bring it up here, but in one week, let's just take week 1. Drop 1 is a 3 all, so 3 assault, 3 heavy, 3 medium, 3 light. Drop 2 would be 700 tons. Drop 3 would be 3 assault, 1 heavy, 4 mediums, 4 lights. Drop 4 would be 860 tons, and drop 5 is 4 assaults, 4 heavies, 2 mediums, 2 lights.
That's awesome.
Really cool. That is wonderful.
Where is my unit leader? I need to get them to sign up. Sorry. No, I really like that. I think that's a good divergence
really
from the past, and yeah.
This part of us too is I really Arhot season 1. I loved knowing that we were fighting there's gonna be 2 lights in the other team, and then like I said with the cicadas, we're like, okay, we're gonna take the cicadas to try to jump the lights, or do we want to take the sense, back to the sense.
Yeah.
So that was a big thing. Like, okay, the sense are gonna help us against the assaults and heavies, but cicadas will help us maybe either do a quick cap, or just win the light war and then harass. And knowing what they're taking class-wise is nice. Because now you don't have to be like, okay, they might go a lot of lights on Alpine Valley and then we're going to be in trouble or something, but now you'll be like, hey, they might take fast mediums, but we know how many lights they're going to have.
What's Ascent?
It's been a long time since I've seen one.
Back in my day,
Yeah,
I remember back in Merrick Civil War Season 2 when everybody ran Centurions.
And nobody knew what a jump jet was.
It was fucking bullshit.
This is what I really want. I want people taking Gospel, K2s, Centurions, Cicadas, Raven 3Ls,
and Awesomes.
DDCs.
Oh, come on, Awesome.
If you want to wait to start, then we're doing Awesomes, Hunchbacks, K2s. Yep. That'd be amazing.
Hashtag
that
perfect.
20% cockpit reduction to the catapult that's coming, I think we'll see K2s coming back in action, and maybe even the Jester too, as a more mobile jump sniper.
Only if they like shrink the nose of the catapult model. Otherwise, it's still gonna stick out and just get blown up.
Yeah, well, I can see some people still toying with it and seeing. Well, as a Gossipult, it's probably the most viable, but there's still people out there who are pretty good with it.
They still work. They still work at opens.
God, do you guys remember? Do you guys remember the old Awesome head hitbox and like running a Gossipult and just being like, "Oh, I see an Awesome and it's dead."
Who gets the kill? Who gets the kill?
So good. Okay, Magician, is there anything else you want to talk about with Arhad? I don't want to just like skip over anything and not give it its credit.
When does it start?
So starting the 21st is going to be the first week, but I think what we'll do is, there's always been the leeway the grace period of weeks, so that should be enough time for teams.
Okay, good, because I'm on vacation for a week from the 21st, so I hope it starts a little later.
Yeah,
Awesome.
people have the time in the first week to just, because I'm putting out the schedule, basically within that first week, they're not going to have that week to schedule. So while it starts the 21st, the first official week will really be the 28th.
Killer.
All right, and how many teams are you looking to kick off as a minimum? Like, if we're stuck at 13 at what we have now, is that sufficient, or are you going to wait longer?
No, 13 is enough. I'd rather have at least 15 because that gives me, 3 divisions of 5, which then I don't have to do this waiting system for playoffs. But 13 is enough. I think that, especially with the teams who are there, it's going to be, if these 13 teams are the only ones in there, it's going to be every week you're going to be in pretty tough matches. So that could be a lot of fun.
And I think that was kind of a problem last season, wasn't it, where you had a few teams drop out?
Well, my plan was to have the Premier League and the Open League, and in order to do that, I had to have at least 20 teams in my mind, where it was going to be a 10 and 10 split. Even then, I was like, I'd rather have like 30 teams, so it's like 10 in the Premier, and then maybe 20 in the Open, and with relegation and all that stuff. And I thought that's going to be, it's the old Cyber Athlete League type setup and English Premier League setup, and I really love that, and I really wanted that, but we're just not having the sign-up numbers for that. And yes, I wanted to not have, like last season, where the teams that won were pretty much undefeated, barely losing any drops, not really having the competitive matches. The best teams weren't playing each other until the playoffs, and only playing each other once, if at all. And I wanted to get the best teams playing each other regularly, because that's what, if people want to watch matches, they want to watch, I imagine, some of the best teams play against each other, and not just be doing that every 4 or 5 months.
Yep, I completely agree. And I think that's back to Mercstar, because I'm going to represent it as much as I can. That is one of the things that we're trying to do, is we're trying to get a couple streamed matches a week. So hopefully not only will we be able to watch more matches, but you'll be able to watch more matches, and if you're a non-competitive player, a more non-competitive friendly attitude for some of the streams. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm excited just looking at it. If nothing else, I'll get to watch a bunch of really fun games.
Now you're seeding based on your ELO rankings that you've developed in Magician, that you've been posting on Reddit every so often?
Oh, we could talk about ELO rankings really quick.
I have the most recent one. Hold on.
Yeah, so Third World is actually taking that over. His system is much better and much easier to update and to work with. So he's taking that over and working with Raffle on that, I think.
Correct.
All right, let's see it.
As for the seeding, I was thinking about it today, and I was like,
I don't know if he updated.
And probably the seeding will be based on it'll probably be based on those.
This
rankings.
may or may not be completely up to date. I think this is the same one we showed last week.
I doubt it. I don't think it counts tonight's game.
It definitely doesn't count.
Oh. That's not.
Yeah, that looks right.
What?
Still Jag EU
That's
up
that's
there.
EU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
Harry at the beginning of the show is like, "Oh, I'm just a figurehead. I don't really do anything." Oh, nope, that's my team right there. We're the best.
Yeah,
Fuck you guys.
Yeah, I don't know if that's today's, because I know we were like 40 points below before, but then once we won that recent match, I don't know if it.
No, I don't think that counts tonight.
And
I
really
think
quick,
you guys will pull ahead with the win.
credit where credit is due. I am only involved in showing everybody this. Third World does all of this, and he deserves all of the credit for it. So
Yeah,
thank you to Third World.
His name is Coach. He plays for SWK.
But yeah,
We're used
so
as well.
we're going to actually try and go over this every week on the show. Hopefully it'll stay up to date, and we'll get more in-depth knowledge of, this team is pulling ahead of this team, where the good rivalries. We can look at old streams and be like, holy damn, that was a close match, etc., etc. So,
Ruffle, can you toss the link in for the chat for anyone who wants to take a look at that? You should be able to find that on the Mercstar website.
they're not going to be able to edit it, are they?
No,
Okay.
I don't believe so. I really hope not.
I'm
If you
not
can't
gonna.
edit
I'm
it,
not gonna
please
link
don't.
that. Yeah, I'm just gonna. I hope you guys like it. You'll maybe get a copy of it later when we're positive that you can't touch it.
Now, just to point out on that system, you can actually select the team, any team on that list, and it will give you their win-loss ratio. It'll tell you who their last match was against, and once we get all the links, it'll give you a link to their website and all that stuff. So it's a fully, we can actually have a somewhat accurate roster of all the teams playing in the leagues today. this it does encompass all of the leagues that are being played at this time. As a side note, we talk about, okay, Season 1 of Comp Play is 8-man, Season 2 of Comp Play was start at 12-mans till the end of Remnant Invitational. So that we're coming near there, that's about 3 weeks away. The idea is we're going to reset the ELO system. I think everyone starts at 1500 or something like that. I don't do the math. I'll double check that. The point being that we're going to restart it and have, start it for Season 3 of Comp Play, which is essentially all the leagues that are coming out from this point on.
Yeah, one of my favorite things about Third's ranking is he really wanted to be where a 3-0 win counts different than a 3-2. So
Yeah.
that's a great addition.
I do like that. It's really cool.
For the math junkies out there who want to know how this works, apparently it is straight textbook chess ELO system. It's just been modified to take in 5-game series into account, whereas chess is just a one-off.
Cool. Well, again, thank you to Third World, because this is going to be a really fun tool for everybody in the competitive scene. I believe the next thing we have to talk about is MRBC, so we can put Harry on the spot.
Great, excellent. So before I start, everyone sign up to Run Hot or Die. I'm really looking forward to it. I think the changes are really good. I'm looking forward to using them mix that we haven't been using for a while, and I want to see everyone back and the challenges that we had in EU as well, and NA of course as I play in both teams. So sign up for that. We got private lobbies soon, so there's no reason why you shouldn't. So
Hey Harry,
should
I'm
be
just going
fun.
to interrupt for
Go
1
on.
second. Just checked with Third World, it is locked down, so you guys hopefully can't terrorist attack us.
Okay, I will
So,
send it
yeah,
then.
toss that link out. And once again, it'll be hosted on the Mercstar website. It's sort of the official Mercstar ELO system, so we'll have a big link for it, if it's not already there.
Alright.
Oh.
Your turn, Harry.
Okay, so yeah, MRBC. Check it out, everyone, because we tried to create this as exciting as possible. We had 2 goals, to make it great for the players. What everyone wants. Hopefully, we tried to cover all the bases, and also we're trying to make it good for the game. That was important for us, that we really wanted to make it so that this is going to advertise the game, and it's going to be something that people not even involved in the league that hopefully will follow, because it will be exciting. So the things that we've got in this league to be excited about, one of the things I'm really excited about is that you can see here, hopefully it's up on your screens, something that Frost put together. Sorry, flu. So anyway, yeah, we've got classes. You've got classes that you've got, and it goes from like a massive light dogfight from the first one, which is the recon Enforce, I believe. I've got to bring it up on my screen because that's too small.
Alright, yeah, I can read it off if you want to.
On first, and so it's a really nice light and medium brawl going on, and if you look at the rules, you'll see that you're going to be using a lot of mechs that we don't normally use. We've got Run Hot or Die for the game, the meta builds that are in the game, and if that's what your thing, you want to see who's best at the game as is, Run Hot or Die is the way to go. But this is going to encourage mechs that we don't get to use in Run Hot or Die. We don't get to use it in Last Mech Standing. It's the second best after the Highlander. It's the third best after the Highlander, or the second best after the Jenna, and so on. So we're going to see. We like the Jennas, we like the Ravens, but maybe you want to use some other stuff, because you've got to use 6 ECM mechs on the lights now. So Ravens, maybe Spiders. I know a lot of teams like to run the Spiders. Maybe even a Commando on the field. Who knows? But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. You can see the rules there and how it ramps up. There's a little bit of lore behind it. We've got that it's an escalating engagement that Frost Pendragon formulated, and I really like it. I like that there's a bit of lore behind it, and that you're simulating that you're involved in this ongoing battle, but despite all that, what is really clever about it is that we keep the fact that it's quite a competitive thing. You know, this is what the competitive gamers enjoy as well, pitting the like for like and the right builds for the role. So yeah, really excited about that. The other things that I'm really excited about is the fact that how we're doing this is we're doing really short seasons and divisions. So with the divisions, what we're doing is we're separating teams into playing against the teams that that they're going to enjoy playing against. New teams coming into the competitive scene, they're dipping their feet in the water, and then their first game is against Steel Jaguar or SWK or BSK, any of the guys there, and it's going to be a bit of a one-sided affair, and they've got to turn up and they've got to play that game. We're stopping that happening, so we're stopping that by having multiple divisions. So we're going to be fit. We're going to seed people, no arguments. We're going to do it based on ELO, so Third World's ELO, quite likely, and we're going to put people so that all your games in that season are going to be good games, and it's going to be fun. You're going to be trying to get to the top of your division, and that's an achievement itself. Get up into that next bracket, face those teams, have a look at what they're doing. And yeah, that's going to be, I think it adds an element that that maybe other leagues haven't got, that you don't have to play those games that are vastly different and maybe aren't so fun for people. But the most exciting thing about it that I'm really excited about, you can see that each drop on there you get a set amount of C bills. It's like your reward for winning. There's a couple of rules for the last two drops to make sure that they're decided by an engagement more than anything. It says it's slightly wrong there, I believe. I think it says missions plus 50,000 C bills for destruction of the entire enemy force. That's going to be changed. We're changing that to, well, the reason we're changing it is because we predicted the last spider going and shutting down somewhere, and a team having to spend 10 minutes trying to find him to try and get that extra 50,000 C bills. So we're changing that to be plus 50,000 C bills for the destruction of all the heavy and the assault lance. So what that does is, like the game tonight with SWK, we didn't win it in a fight. Although it could be said that we won it tactically because we decided to cap at the right point. We didn't win it with a fight. But we're trying to make it with these last two drops that it is decided by a fight. People are more encouraged to try and take down those heavies and assaults, and that really tells you, did that get decided by a fight, that game? And if people win that way rather than go at shooting off and stealing a win from the jaws of defeat, it's a better win. They come off better in the league tables than the others. But yeah, going on to this system of giving rewards, one of the rewards we're going to do, and maybe it might be controversial, I hope not, one of the things that other competitive games going on, and since I was a lot younger than I am now, when I was playing my Counter-Strike days, to an observer, people were able to see the games going on through the players' eyes. And that was an exciting thing. Imagine if we had spectator mode in MWO. That would be fantastic. Exactly. So what we're doing is we're giving 100,000 C bills reward to teams that submit a recording of all 4 games, just from one of their players' perspective. It doesn't matter who, and it doesn't have to have comms on it. But what that does is that allows people that are involved in the league and people outside of the league to get excited about it, to watch it, to see what's going on. It's not just a faceless league that they get to see the tables and maybe an end score screen. There's actual stuff going on, and not just that. We're going to take them videos, and I'm going to be one of the guys doing it. Possibly other guys involved, but we're going to do like a commentary on it. Like Balls commentary or whatever you like. Just really I don't know, bringing it forward, and we're going to be posting them up at least one a week. Hopefully, I'll try and do as many as I can and get them up there on the website, and so people can get on there and they can view games with a bit of commentary and find out what happened between these two teams. And when you're looking at the teams you're going to face, you've got a face to the enemy. You've seen what they can do, and yeah, I think it's going to add a lot. I think it's going to add a lot to the competitive scene. We're able to keep showing these videos out there to people, and it's going to put something that hasn't been going on in the competitive scene. I think that we're very faceless, if you like, and I think that this is going to be very interesting for people. And I can understand that people are like secret squirrels and they want to hide their super secret strategies, but teams like SWK and SJR have been streaming their games, for a long while now, and it doesn't seem to be hurting us. We seem to be still doing as well. So I really hope that people don't get put off by that, and they see the benefit of it, and that it adds that bit of excitement to the league that we haven't got elsewhere. I think it works.
And I'm gonna go ahead and offer it right now. Any teams that are playing each other that want to have their game cast live should feel free to send me a message, and I'll do my best to organize it. I think casted matches are something that are really, really important to the development of the game, and so I'm gonna be putting a lot of time into these casted matches and making sure that as many of them get out as possible for everyone to view. So feel free to let me know if you guys want to match casted, and I'll try and we should talk after the show and try and figure something out where we can get we can talk about like MRVC, the news every week and stuff like that too, and get a lore piece going. It can be fun.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to putting a face to it. Like getting some personalities out of the scene. Some guys that have casted before and so on, getting them involved. I think it'd be really exciting, and it really will create a scene and a community that we haven't had quite yet. We've got a community going on, but so other things to talk about on the site that we've got coming up. And I don't know, have we given everyone the link to the site?
I can give it right now. Hold on.
Yeah, if you could post that. Yeah, the links to the site. The sign-ups are now. We've just started literally today. We're looking for as many teams as we can get. At the moment, we've got an NA section, We've got an EU section. We've separated Russian for now. We've got a Russian section because I know the Russians have been calling out for a Russian-centric league, so hopefully that'll work for them. We'll see. If there's enough interest, that's great. If there's not enough interest on this Russian league, we'll probably merge it with the EU. We'll see what happens. But I'm hoping that'll be well received. But so we've got stuff to come on the site as well. We're going to have a drop calculator on there. I've seen it working. We're almost there. I think it doesn't work in Firefox or something at the moment, but it's really good. You can use it for other leagues out there as well. You'll be able to basically just drag in the mix that you're going to have in that drop, and it calculate the drop tonnage for you. It'd be really handy. I think everyone will appreciate it, and hopefully bring more people to the MRBC and get involved with that. Yeah, I think I've covered everything. The only other things I wanted to say was that thanks a lot. Great work from Fred Pendragon, who's come up with the designed the drops and how it's going to work like that way. Effects did all the artwork, and Shell, Doyle's girlfriend, has just been an absolute legend. Isn't even involved in the MechWarrior scene and has done all this website for us. So thanks a lot to her. Absolutely brilliant work.
Everything sounds so much more gracious when you say it. But an absolute legend. It's like, oh, that's so endearing. Holy shit. No, but I'm really excited for this. This is going to be a cool league. I know that this is going to be a busy season for everyone.
I was going to ask, what's the time schedule for this league? You said it was short seasons.
Yes.
How long? 6 weeks?
Yeah, we're hoping for. My guess, and it is my guess, is that we're going to do divisions of about 6 teams. I'm hoping so, maybe 5 games. Yeah,
and
maybe
so it's
less.
1 game a week
more.
Is what you're looking at.
Yes, that's what we've got down right now. 1 game a week.
Nice.
That would work for us.
So that's actually completely manageable then, because I mean, Arhad and Merrick Civil War are pretty big time commitments, but fitting in one extra game wouldn't actually be that bad. So those of you that are watching,
any of those teams that are watching,
I encourage you to talk to your unit leaders and convince them to join in this league, because the more people that we have playing, the more often, the more people we're going to draw in, the more new teams are going to get started, and the more competition we'll have, and the better it'll be. So, do your part.
A good way to sort of look at if your team...
I'm going to make an atlas, Uncle Sam.
Good way to see how many leagues your team can sort of take on is you can do the math, right? Arhad is 1 game a week. MRBC League is 1 game a week. Merrick Civil War averages 1 game a week, but sometimes it's a little bit more when we do ours in 2-week turns. So, I mean, if... I know a lot of teams out there have done 3 or 4 leagues at once, so there's absolutely nothing wrong with giving your players 3 nights a week to play real Stomp Your Robots, not just fake real Stomp Your Robots.
Okay, Magician appears to be back.
I am back.
Okay.
So, yeah, I really encourage you to have a look. See if it's for you, you know, because... Oh, Meg, can you turn off Skype sound? Cool. Yeah, see if it's for you. I think it will be. I'm hoping it will be, because it's something that, you know, we collaborated with a load of us guys in SJR to try and design something that we really would want. Because, you know, there was a gap in the leagues, and we thought, you know, we'd like to see something like this. And the other thing is that our website is so much cooler than any other leagues out there. You know, so... Why look at their leagues when they've got them silly little websites compared to ours? Check it out. Maybe Arhod's compares. Maybe, I don't know, but
way to suck up to your boss.
Well done, well done. All right, Meg's pretty face is back.
Well, I think that. Did you say who made it, Harry?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sorry, but this is the worst technical night I've had since my first night, and none of this is even my fault. Well, that's not true. Most of it's my fault, but we don't know for sure.
It's probably your fault.
What do you guys think about? We've got plenty of people in here who know what they're talking about. What do you guys think about these drop weights and stuff like that, and the restrictions for MRBC?
If anyone's seen them before.
Yeah, here, I'll bring back the image on the stream.
I think that this is all an excuse because Frost wanted to play spiders, and he needed a reason to do so, so he made a league that makes you have to take spiders or commandos.
Bear in mind that Frost has got every single mech in the game. I think there's 2 mechs that he hasn't got, so he's created a league where he needs to use all of them.
And he's got like 2? At least 2 of each, probably.
My favorite, so my personal favorite part about this, like the matches thing, is the examples of like what mechs you would take. It's not because like it's bad or wrong or anything. It's just like so center of battle, the final one, which is 2 lights, 4 heavies, and 6 assaults. The example of like a drop you could take is 2 spiders, 4 Jaegermechs, 4 Victors, 1 Highlander, and 1 DDC. Not, you know, the 4 Highlanders, 2 Victors, 4 Cataphracts, and 2 Jenners.
Well,
it's good though. I like it.
We didn't want to let everyone know our secret strategies.
The 6 Guardian ECM thing in the lightest drop made me like. I actually had to think about like what mechs I would pick. It was the first time I'd looked at a drop restriction and not just been like, oh, okay, Shadowhawks, Cataphracts, Highlanders, and Jenners. I was like, what mechs run ECM? Oh God. But yeah, it's
Return of the Commando. It's good.
Well, you know, for this, for me, you know, there's 2 things in MWO, you know, about why teams are good. One is understanding mechs and whether they're good for what you're doing in the game, and also, you know, skill of the pilots. And I think that this maybe takes it more like. It takes it to the next level, because now you've got to think about mechs that you haven't thought about before. You've got to think about more than just 1 light. You've got to think about more than just 1 assault. You've got to think about, you know, and then your pilots have got to be good in their mechs. And I think it's going to be brilliant. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm also excited. I'm excited to see the Air Arty restrictions. That's going to be really big because we'll see how they address it, if they address it coming up, changing any of the damage values or something like that. But we've all seen how catastrophic arties can be in really organized 12-mans. Like if you're in that stage of them where you think you're alone and you think nobody can see you, and you happen to be clumped up for just a second and somebody gets a good arty, that's, 600 damage on your entire team. And it's like, well, hope we didn't want to win this game.
Yeah, well, we're not going to get too crazy headshots on the first drop. Hopefully, with the lights, all the lights running around. But we kept it in there mainly for thematic reasons. For what's going on. But I do think, despite the complaints we have about arty and airdrop, I absolutely do think they add something to the game. I
completely agree. Camping is not as easy as it used to be. You see a lot more mobile games now where people are shifting and fighting for position because there are places where it's better to be, where it's harder to be artied, and you fight for those positions, and if somebody does land an arty, you have to move. And then, depending on where your team drops to or shifts out, you then are like, well, I can't go back because now they've taken that spot, so we got to keep moving, and it's a much more mobile game now, which is really fun.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's a really enjoyable thing from a calling perspective that I know that if I can get map control and you've got a team that's dug in, it's not going to work for them because I can use my lights, get them round and start using them airstrikes to make them feel uncomfortable, and it really changes how you play the game. And I think they add something to the game. I'm hoping they're balanced, they're rebalanced. I am hoping that either we see headshot immunity on mechs or we see the damage lowered. Either one I think would be good. I think the damage probably needs to be lowered because today I lost 24% on my Highlander from one arty strike, so I'm not happy about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I do think it adds something to the game. We know it's a little bit of imbalance, but I wouldn't like to see them gone. So
I agree.
Yeah, they're still in there.
I think they should increase the cooldown time between arty strikes too, because it's ridiculous how
you can probably
fast
quadruple the time.
I remember when it first came out and we were talking about it, I was like, you guys, isn't the cooldown like 8 seconds? And it was like, no, it's like 30 seconds. What are you talking about? And I was like, guys, I'm pretty sure it's like 8 seconds. Like, it's really, really short. And then it was, and we're all just like, well, yep, that's going to be really abusive.
Yeah, it's just especially if you're in slow mechs, I mean, you're going to get hammered twice by any team that's good at laying them down, no matter what.
Yep.
I mean, when I saw it originally, I thought, well, actually, there's quite a long time till you plant it and then it drops. But actually, in reality, you haven't got time for your teammate to tell you that something's there and you to actually react to it. By the time your teammate's told you, it's hitting you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty devastating. And I already think the amount of cockpit shake you get is devastating enough, so they don't need 40 lots of damage to be whacking you. Yeah, I think everyone's agreed.
I think like 25 points per shell is probably a good number where it's still viable, because at 10 it was kind of shitty.
Or even just
10
was completely useless. Or even just expand the area so that if you're standing in between two shells that land right next to each other, you don't still take both nearly full damage from both of them. Make the advanced, there's a module to make the grouping tighter. Make that module actually do something and expand the radius to make it pretty big. Airstrike especially, you don't need the advanced airstrike module. That thing already hits shell over a very tight range. I don't know. It's
a wasted module right now.
Yeah, of course.
Why do you want it to be tighter than it is? I mean,
actually hit somebody exactly. Yeah. But what I'm saying right now is that module should make it the size it is now, and before that, it should be huge. Who keeps getting into DS and ruining the buttons?
That is one thing they could do is change modules so they take up a certain amount of slots. Like an arty strike is a 2-slot module or something like that.
That would be interesting.
You know what module I'd like to see is a landmine type of module. So when you're running away, you could just drop one.
You can use air arty like that already, but they talked about wanting to do that at one point in time, I think.
They had it's not the long tom, but it's artillery or something like that. There's one of the ammo types would be mines.
So. I tell you what would be cool if they did mines and there was loads of them, but they're totally visible. So you can shoot them, but you've got to shoot loads of them. So it hinders you, but it's not like you're going to walk in there and you just die randomly. That would be awful.
Yeah. You got the big Actung sign beside every minefield. You clearly know where they are.
Yeah.
Just skull and crossbones. Yeah. Yeah. No, I like the fact that they made them more devastating. 10 we knew was rubbish, and 40, it's almost there. I wouldn't like to see it halved in damage. I think I still like, if the team has done a good enough job to get that arty and got it to land on a few mechs, it should be doing damage.
Yeah.
They should be rewarded for it. So, it just needs to be taken out of headshot territory, and I'm going to lose an arm and leg territory. So a little bit more, a little bit less. 75% of what it's doing now, I think, works.
Yeah, 30 damage. Especially
Yeah.
if you do a mix of it, right? You seriously could triple or quadruple the cooldown timer, and it would still be good.
Yes.
And then you mix some combination of that with a 30 damage shell, and suddenly it's probably tweak it a couple patches. PGI needs 2 patches to get things right sometimes. But the point is, it's not a hard thing to tweak. I'm surprised it's been this long.
Yeah,
I'm
PGI
hoping they do. Sorry, mate, go on.
That's what I was going to say. PGI just has this history of overshooting one way or the other. Like, look at UX5s. They nerfed them the hell to 10%. They went from a 10% jam rate, which was amazing, and way overpowered, to a 25% jam rate. And it's like, you couldn't have picked something more in between. You know what I mean?
Well, even just to try it out for a week, and then you can always change it back next patch. We won't think any less of you.
I think so. Here's one of the problems, though, is I think that they are busy, and they don't necessarily have time to, for the average player, that's probably not a huge deal. It's a big deal for us because we know the strength of these weapons and we know how to use them, but it doesn't probably come up as much in the general public. And I know a lot of competitive players don't post on the forums because they fucking hate going to the forums because it's just a lot of troll bait. So I think that there's something to be spoken of about that. So
yeah, well, the other point of it is that it is a big C-bill sink for them. It's actually getting people buying consumables and spending a lot of money that way. So I think they'll be less inclined to make it so that people buy less of them when they have actually gotten a consumable that people are investing a lot of money in.
Like, I wonder how many accidental MC purchases are made because they slot them right next to each other. It's happened to me once.
Well, yeah, it's happened to me once.
Yep, me too.
So, I don't know about you guys, but now that I can actually get into drop solo queuing in my assault mechs, I find that I'm in these really low elo drops, and almost nobody else uses arty or air strikes.
I know, it's
and
all
it
to
makes
yourself.
It so easy. Yeah, you're just like, yep,
Show me that 1200 damage.
Yeah,
Show
they
it.
just changed the matchmaking, and all of a sudden you notice it right away when you're in a higher elo. You're like, holy shit! Like you can, without arty and air, even 1,000-point drops are more achievable now.
Mag and I were in a drops this evening, and it was just like, wow, you can tell the difference. Yeah.
Well, I think
Speaking of crazy drops, what about that one? We have to talk about this. The 11 lights and the medium.
The one with Siri.
The one with Siri where he did the video. So
Well,
it was a lance.
yeah, but it was the wannabe light, the cicada. It was literally 11 Jenners and a cicada 3M. It was like PGI. We're sitting there going, watch this.
Yeah, I'm looking for the link right now. The
They're
post.
all
That's
there
awesome.
sniggering. Yeah.
but
if you're good players in them Jenners, I still think you've got a damn good chance of winning. You can, if you can pick off isolated guys that don't know what they're doing, you're just going to take them apart, and that's what you see in that video. It's good fun.
Yeah, I just linked it in chat. So these guys, it was also like 3 lances of good players, and I couldn't remember who was on the other side, but it was like serious mismatch on tonnage, and the light team just, oh my god, it was ridiculous. But that stuff is going to happen more and more often. We're going to see these crazy mismatches.
Harry and Tony, you guys were both in that all-star as hell match the other night, weren't you? Where it was like each team had a lance of like 228 SWK and SJR on it.
Oh, there's BSK.
Oh, it was
and,
BSK too. Yeah, and there was like
Weeby
was in there too. It was
Calf-
like a
Calf
Luna
crew
Wolf
was
and Calf.
there.
Yeah,
Like, it's
God,
not just one match. It's been happening very frequently.
it's fun. I love it.
And it's really great because suddenly the pug queue is exciting.
Yeah.
Because you drop against all these pro teams.
Yeah, that was fun.
The downside is if you're fucking trying to level a crap mech, pug dropping is not. You gotta wait till 5 in the morning.
What do you mean? If I'm trying to like level my Trebuchet 5J, which has been taking me a week because I hate it so much.
I mean, no offense, Cappy's crew, but Cappy is like you drop against them. It's 4 Highlander Cs without fail every time.
And they will get you.
And they will murder you because you're in an inferior mech.
Yep, pretty much. All right. Is there anything else? Looks like we're gonna have to postpone Merrick another week because
No, that's fine.
No, it is. It's okay. I don't want to go 2.5 hours like we have in the past.
How many teams have signed up for
Can we
Merrick?
change Merrick, by the way? Can we change to, like, the Draconis Combine Civil War?
Well,
yeah, this is gonna be hard. This is gonna be hard on.
League would be fucked.
This is gonna be hard on the news because I just made like a piece at the end. I was like, oh, it looks like there'll be peace in Merrick for some time. Now and I'd be like, Merrick's fucked again. I know it's just my little thing, but still.
Yeah. We actually toyed with that. Rather than doing Merrick Season 2, we were gonna do Draconis March, Civil War, and then pick something in a different area, and we just stick with the Merrick thing because from a fluff point of view, not that many people actually care about that, but from a fluff point of view, it's perfect because Merrick goes through like 5 Civil Wars over the course of the next, and it's perfect. The story writes itself. Those guys hate each other.
Okay, so we'll postpone Merrick till next week, which means I'm forcing Tony to be available. Is there anything else you guys want to mention quick?
Why are my pings so damn high? That's what I want to mention.
Has your ping been high lately, or just like right now?
It's double what it used to be.
Seriously?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that sucks.
Can I say, like, recently, am I the only one that found that, apart from SRMs, we all know they're broken, the hit reg has actually been pretty solid? I mean,
the only problem I've had is there seems to be a bug with shooting AC-20s and PPCs at the same time, which I know you shouldn't really be doing right now anyways, because the sync speed is so slow.
I get it.
But I've gotten a huge dissync on hit reg, but other than that, it's been pretty good for me. Other than like light mechs at really close range.
It hasn't gotten better for me. I feel like the AC-20 got worse almost with the slower hit speed, right? So that got worse. I play a lot of the Shadowhawk with the AC-5s and the PPCs, and I'll fire them individually, and it'll be like register hit with the AC-5, no register with the PPC, no register with the AC-5, then register with the PPC. Like, it's just fucking random, and I don't know what it is.
I wonder if it depends on server.
Well,
location.
one thing I'd say is that, like, probably about 8 months ago, it's like 6 months to 8 months ago, I reckon, there was a period where I was playing with the NA and playing with the EU. And EU, I'd have pretty reasonable hit reg. I'd play with the NA, and the hit reg was atrocious. Like, I was infuriated after each game, and I was trying not to complain after each game with the NA team, and I just don't get that anymore. So I was just wondering if other people do. It might just be an EU thing. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe the internet's somehow not better.
Well, yeah. If any of you have Comcast, that's your problem. But it could just be server location. I don't think they've released where the servers are, but that would be interesting to find out.
The servers are in Toronto.
Toronto, that's where I live.
Okay.
Which is why I have an 11 ping, because I'm a 45-minute drive away.
Get fucked.
Get fucked.
Minnesota's not too bad, so I'm okay. My ping's usually around like 20 or 30. Alright, well I guess let's just go around.
Well, just one last thing. Just to push it again, Mercstar. If you have articles you want to get published, well, as far as that publishes them, put them on there. We've got a section where basically you can free post things, and then if it's warrants, getting put up on the front page with cool art and whatever else, we can look at that too. And the whole goal of Mercstar is we're trying to promote the competitive community, because that's the only way this game survives into the next couple of years, and fuck, we all have wet dreams about this becoming an esport, right? Well, some of us, baby. So
I wouldn't go that far. I have.
Right?
Who's gonna put up prize money?
Ooh,
I'll host a league. I'll do it. I'm a poor college student.
There you go.
No, seriously, I will. I'd do that.
That's what makes it into an esport, right? Is when there's something really
there's
at
money.
stake.
Yeah, I'll do it.
We're not talking 5Es, bro. Like, it's...
No, I'm talking like. Wait, hold on. Before I do this, let me. How much is the smallest MC package?
It's $6.95.
Yeah, but how the hell
For
do you split that between a 12 to 16 man team?
It's $6.90. It's $6.95 for the smallest MC package.
Yeah.
Just give me the cash and I'll pay for the unit website for a month.
No. I will host a tournament, and first prize will be the smallest MC package for every competing member of the final drop of the winning team.
People are gonna make sure they have 28 competing members through that
People,
series.
no. You have to be. You have to play. Like, it'll be awarded to the 12 most frequent players or something like that. I'm not buying fucking 28 people shit.
Shopping spree.
But no, I'll do that. I will put money on this shit. Hopefully we'll do it. It'll be the Clan Invasion tournament or something like that.
There you go. I actually have an idea for a Clan Invasion, but we have to see how private lobbies are going to work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, short of me making giant promises that are gonna bite me in the ass. No, I mean, I'll totally do it. I'm in. I love this game. Let's go around and do shoutouts. Let's go backwards this time. Harry.
Oh, okay. So shout-outs to Frost, FX, and especially Shell for all the hard work that's gone into MRBC, and I hope a lot of people will be appreciating that soon. And shout-out to everyone on SJR for a fantastic job in LMS Season 2, Run Hard Tire Season 2, and obviously tonight as well. Fantastic work, everyone.
All
Yes.
right, and over to Carp.
All right. Well, obviously, shout out to my boys in QQ and our friends over in Astraeus Titans and Comstar regulars as well. We've put together a team that we that let's make a real go at this and gun for the top tier teams. So I think going 5 games with SGR was I would say a nice goal to hit.
Only
And,
a handful of teams that can say they've ever done it, so you guys did yourselves proud.
I feel like we could have won it in 4.
You could have.
But we could have. And but lesson learned. Made a mistake, and I won't do it again.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.
That's the attitude. Good job, man. All right, Tony.
I guess shout out to my guys. Shout out to Steeljack. You guys played really well tonight. So we'll get you next time, Gadget. And then just, hey, check out Mercstar. There's a ton of stuff for all your different competitive needs. So, and check out a fucking league. There's a bunch of them, and they all, point to different flavors. There's got to be something for everyone.
All right, Han.
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to all you guys working on making these leagues and tournaments. I know it's a lot of work, and you guys do it for your passion for the game and to try to breathe some life into it and give people some way to participate. So for all you guys and multi-talented too with Proxus, it's a real labor of love, and it's much appreciated.
All right, and last but certainly not least, Magician.
Well, I guess first shoutouts to Carpentier and his crew there. They made my hand shake for like the first time in ages in playing this damn game. I have not had that much adrenaline rush, really, like to that point. I was missing shots because my hands were not steady. But also shout out to Pyroblast becoming 10 mana. Thank God, fuck the mages.
What game are we talking about?
The only game that really matters.
Hearthstone? Oh. You guys
Fuck.
User was banned from the server.
Yeah, no kidding.
No, I'm just kidding. We gotta keep the SJR refugee camp alive. Okay, so I guess that makes it my turn. Shoutouts to all you guys, really. Everybody who's watching, I appreciate all that. I'm really trying to develop this stream and this channel, so you're gonna see a lot more content coming out in the next couple weeks, and then continuing through this league season. Gonna keep doing the show every Thursday. Gonna get back on top of the news now that there's actually news to talk about. Siri and I are going to be hosting matches. We're going to be trying to do that at least once a week. So those will be a live stream. I will actually give you guys a little sneak peek of that.
I'm excited.
I will give you just a quick little sneak peek. Mind you, that overlay is wrong. It's just the like the logos and stuff are wrong, but that's what it's going to look like. Our first is going to be on Monday, hopefully, We're hoping to try and do the CTR versus BSK game, and yeah, it's gonna be good. We've got a lot of big content coming. All that's gonna be fun, and competitive scene's gonna keep growing. Check out Mercstar, all that stuff, etc., etc. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. We'll see y'all next week.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.